right, some things that I have learned from doing Uber Eats in the mountainous areas. So, yeah, there are a few lessons I learned, and that is sometimes you'll be doing your Uber Eats, and when you're up in the mountains and your reception's really, really bad, you can have a hard time taking a picture of the item dropped off, the order dropped off at your customer's door, and that's just something to think about. Like, I didn't even realize that there were orders that I just didn't think about how reception could be an issue. So sometimes I see an option on Uber Eats where you can skip the photo in general and you don't have to leave a photo, but then sometimes you really can't leave until you take the picture, and there's no option to skip the photo where you leave the order at the customer's door. So that could be an update that would be really, really helpful if Uber Eats would resolve that situation. The other thing too is, so I do a lot of my Uber Eats in San Diego, and one of the things that I've observed, there are some super rich, bougie neighborhoods that you'll see houses that are just, when you're driving on the freeway, and you'll see some houses that are just randomly on the side of the hill, and you always, if you're anything like me, wonder who lives there. Well, turns out it's not super easy to get to those places, because I had an Uber Eats delivery, a Home Depot delivery. I had like 16 fence posts that somebody's like building a house up there, and the Uber Eats GPS took me it was leading me to their house, but they were non-access roads. So, for instance, I'd get to a road where there was a gate that only the city could access, which the GPS led me to these places, and because of it, took me a lot longer to get to the customer's house. There needs to be an option that allows, to communicate that instantly to the headquarters, Uber Eats headquarters, saying, hey, this route, people who live in this neighborhood, there's only one way to get into that neighborhood. And so 2 of the 3 roads that get me to that neighborhood were all non-accessible roads, and you needed some sort of city permit to just even use those roads. I had to communicate, that sorry to the customer that the GPS was, and this is the GPS that's literally built into Uber Eats. So that was kind of a challenge. And if you are delivering to these neighborhoods, I'm right there with you. You might land in that kind of problem, in that kind of situation. Let me think. So yeah, those are 2 unique situations that, those are 2 unique situations. Bad reception in the mountains, and then also for neighborhoods that have multiple ways to get there, and have only like non-access roads that we don't know about, and apparently Uber Eats GPS doesn't know about. I got rerouted 3 times, and for private neighborhoods, that needs to be something that is just needs to be in the next Uber Eats update. And then lastly, sometimes your phone will glitch out and freeze, and I'm afraid, okay, like you might get stuck on like a message screen and you can't maneuver through, you know, the different screens. What I'm scared to do is like close the app and then turn it back on. But that's what I do, and by the grace of God, I'm able to get back to my orders and resume right where I left off. But there needs to be some sort of, there needs to be some sort of note while in the app while you're delivering, that if the app glitches up, just close it really quick and turn it back on, and you'll be able to just continue right where you left off. So if you ever find that your phone's glitching, I have an Apple phone. I just turn off the app and then turn it back on. I close the app and turn it back up, and then open it back up again, and it seems to kind of just pick up right where it left off. So, yep, those are 3 things that I've observed, and you know, I hope that this video helps you with your deliveries, and that it takes away any kind of delivery anxiety that you might have. Keep on being a blessing. Keep on delivering hard. Love you guys. Peace.